Welcome back to Metis Minute, your source for Metis news in Region 7. Bonjour, je m'appelle Samantha Loney. Je suis Michif, the Michif French. And that's about the extent of the Michif that I know. Bonjour, je m'appelle Samantha Loney. Je suis Michif, the Michif French. And that's about the extent of the Michif French that I can speak. I know a few words here and there, but if you do not know what I just said, don't worry. You soon will be able to change all of that. In today's episode, we are bringing you some content concerning learning the Michif language here in Region 7. Michif is the official language of the Métis, even though we all know that our ancestors who worked as guides and postmasters would often speak different Indigenous languages. But for the sake of today's episode, we are going to be covering French Michif. For those who don't know, Michif is actually 3 separate dialects. There is Heritage Michif, Southern Michif, and the Michif that was spoken here on the Great Lakes, French Michif. Of course, we know that all of us are from different areas across Turtle Island, and an elder once told me that you should learn the language that your ancestors spoke. So if your ancestors spoke French Michif, you are in luck because we are here to explore some French Michif resources available to you as an MNO citizen. I was able to sit in on an information session at the Penetanguishene Public Library, where I was able to learn about all the different resources that are available to people looking to learn le Michif Français. If you've ever been to Penetanguishene, you know that it is a multilingual city, and we are so happy that we got invited to take part in a Michif language class. We are going to bring you some of that class later, but we wanted to start off by sharing some of the resources that we learned about while we attended this Michif language information session.
Bonjour, my name is René Laurent. I'm a Métis languages specialist with the Metis Nation of Ontario, and we're here for Intro Michif session number 2, and to introduce what the Métis Language Initiative branch does staffing-wise, when we were created, what we have done, what we're doing, what we're planning to do, and what the committee would like potentially as future products. On the screen, we have top left Tanya Glad. She's our manager. She leads the group, and we have Chantal Cote, who is the other language specialist, and Ray Terry is our language camp coordinator. I asked Chantal if she could go through our MLI website and existing resources, so to give a feel to the people of what we've created. And maybe Tanya can speak first on how long we've been in action and what staffing needs we require for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tanya Glad. I am a proud Métis citizen, currently residing in Region 9. So, first of all, thank you so much for bringing together sort of council and community and including us in this wonderful opportunity to share with you some of the incredible work we've done over the last couple of years. So it's really only been since March 31st, 2022, that our team came together officially as a Métis Language Initiatives team. Prior to that, of course, the MNO did focus on language revitalization efforts and Michif sort of archiving resource creations. However, without dedicated funding, we were never able to establish a dedicated team. And so we're very proud to be at that sort of place right now in our work. Also, last year, UNESCO declared this the decade of Indigenous languages and revitalization. So we're working closely with some other partners as well to share best practices around language revitalization. Chantal will share with you shortly some of the incredible resources that we've been able to salvage from past projects and some of the ones that we've created recently over the last 2 years, as well as share with you exciting projects that we have in our 5-year work plan. We are currently in year 2 of a 5-year federal funding agreement to support our revitalization efforts here in Ontario. And so on our team, you heard Renee give an introduction. We do have our language specialists, Chantal and Renee, who are here with us. We have Ray Tarian, who's here with us as well, who's right now in the role of project coordinator, but also holds a background as a linguist. We have an operations coordinator and a curriculum developer as well. As we move forward and our program continues to grow, and with the continued support of federal funding, of course, we'd like to add more staff as the needs of the program continue to grow. As our citizens, such as yourselves, continue to reach out with these incredible community partnerships, it only supports the work that we're doing and identifies community need and pockets of areas that we can better support, either through resource creation, staffing, human resources, and so on. So I don't want to take up too much time. I'm sure you can tell that we're really excited by this work, but I do want to hand it over to Chantal because I know she's only here till 10:30 to share with you some of the resources we have and to show you where you can go to access those. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, Dana. So, like Tanya mentioned, I am part of the team. My role is I'm a language specialist and I live in Region 3. So, do I have share screen? I don't have the share screen capacity.
I think you have to click all participants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I will bring up the website. Okay, so you are all familiar with our Metis Nation of Ontario website, and the easiest way to get to the MLI page, the multi-language page, is to click on culture at the top in the blue band, the culture, and then this will open up culture and heritage. And if you scroll down, there is a box for Métis languages. You click on Métis languages, and this will bring us directly to our Métis languages page. Here, there's a short intro, and clicking on Métis languages, then you have a bilingual, a larger intro. It will give you a little bit more information about what we provide. This page, I will go into the learn more, and this is where our resources are being kept. But there's also, we have language, translation inquiry, FAQ questions, and also translation request forms. And these are newer from 2024. So if you have older versions, I would encourage you to download these most recent ones. And there's a few answers here to some FAQs, and also a presentation inquiry form. request form. Again, it's a new one from 2024. And that's it for this page. I'll just click onto the Learn More, and this brings you to all of our resources. I'll just scroll down to give you an idea of how many drop-down menu we have. There's quite a few, and there are many resources in each one of them. Here, I imagine Renee might have mentioned that we do use the word Michif throughout, but it's to represent Michif French in Ontario, and for all of our resources that are in this section. So in the first
Can you mention that all our resources are, these resources are all trilingual?
Yes. Okay, so the first one is M&O Statement of Prime Purpose, and as Renee mentioned, so the Statement of Prime Purpose here is available in English, in French, and Michif. Then we have the workbook that you may have seen around, because it does exist. It was first launched in 2012. There was a revision copy made in 2018, and the latest one is from 2023. And then we also have the readings page on its own. After that, the drop-down menu is for storybooks. The group party is a story that was written by the speakers. So how they came about to write the story is a person would write the first paragraph and send it to the next one, and the story was written in that fashion. So each paragraph is written by a different speaker. Then it was printed, it was made available in French, English, and Michif, and videos were made of the story. So the story was printed, and then some videos were made. The story is available. It's the fourth piece here, and then there's a few extra activity sheets. So we do have word lists with images for different. You'll see that throughout our web page, and those have been created mainly because in some of our accounts we've offered we played bingo in a way to further learn the language, and so that's why those. Maybe I can open this one to give you an idea of what this looks like. So it's the words that are found throughout the story, and there's an image with each of the words. So go back. And then there is also available on our website, it's Caring is the Universal Language Storybook, La Compassion de Langage Universel, which is a storybook that was created with COPA, Centre Ontarien des Agressions. So what happened, we did a lot of work with them. There's also some vignettes that are available on their website, and those vignettes were created. We started working with them in 2013, and COPA went around the province.
Sitting on the bench of the forest.
Pardon me? Is that a comment in regards to the COPA? So yeah, the vignettes. So there were meetings done throughout the regions with different through the councils, and we met with citizens and gathered information on what they thought should be in the vignettes, and that's how it was created. So even the storybook is available in 7 languages. So COPA didn't meet with all of the Inuit, the Cree, and so that's how it's all these languages were written by speakers. And then after that, various learning activities. So there's here how I describe myself, parts of the things, parts of the body, again, word search of the body, and then some flashcards. may have seen, maybe I'll open this up there, you may have seen these flashcards in the past in the education kit. They were mainly in English and French, one in French. I'm not sure if they existed just in English, but now they are totally trilingual. This is a new revision, I went through these in 2022. So there are several of them available, different subjects. So they're basically the same images that you've seen before, but now it's totally revised. So let's keep moving. Oh yeah, the flashcards. All right, next one, interactive activities. So there's a Michif sing along. There's a greetings for beginner level. It's a chatterbox, and then there's a Michif Scrabble. And here, I don't know if Brittany's ever presented his large Scrabble board. And it's for this, maybe I can open this one. And I think Renee could speak more to it, but your words, if they were written in Michif, they will work more than in English or French. So this is a good way to learn the language. And then this one is a jig doll, where it's similar to the hangman that I figured we use one of our cultural items. The jig doll, so you start with the body, build up toward the head, and to the body you can add the sash and go on. And then there's a Michif one there, again to use you can use the Michif language in there. We have a large list of trilingual word lists. So there's beating, floating, finger weaving, the fishing, hunting, and it goes on. There's many of them. Some of them have a word search. This spring has words with images, word search as well, words with images. So every time there's a list with images, there means we've had to be able to go along with it. Then there's the matching game cards. You might steal those around. These are trilingual, so you can play matching game, or you can also, because there's 4 each image, you can play Go Fish with those. And many other games, because Disney has in the past brought them to many of the camps, and she said the participants would use them in a different way. They would invent games with it. They just enjoyed using Disney cards to play different games. And then here we have coloring activities. Score. So here you have all the different color patches with the colors all written in all 3 languages. So there's various pages of this one. And then there's also, open up the moose, and this one is colored by numbers. So
I'm taking that one to hunting camp.
And I know the wolf one, Renee had wanted this one for your region before.
Festivals do.
Festivals do, yes. Then after that, we do have trilingual greeting cards. The 2022 version is more like a postcard. So you have the image with the writing in the front, and at the back, it's a postcard. As opposed to the 2023 is actually a physical card, and they're all trilingual, so it opens up and you can write a message inside. They're very similar. Some images have been changed, but there's one here together. We have a calendar, trilingual calendar. It is printable version. We do have it available in paper, like desktop size, and then there's a laminated version as well to put up on the wall or on your refrigerator. Then we have some trilingual recipes. The alphabet. The alphabet is also trilingual. Here's this one. A comme dans attaque, et A comme dans attaque, et like apple. So you go through the whole alphabet. The alphabet, but also there's some distinct. I'll just scroll down to DZ or there's the GN here and here the SCH. It's more like the SH sound in short in English. Here's the DZ. So, for example, a lot of the days of the week, it's a DZ for the word. And the sound that it resembles in English is the DS for in beat. That's a sound. So this is used for in the course, or it can be used in the classroom. Pick this up. Here we have word games, body part crosswords, meal crosswords. Then way of life posters. Those are really nice. They're very large posters. This is in, it's a 2024 production. I lost it. Okay. It's trying to load, there we go. So you have the animals, the beautiful images, and it's not just animals. We have the fish, and castle words that you would find at the camp, and then mammals, and then some of the berries. So those are new as of this year. And then we have the game who's freshly off the press as well. Turn all the cards. It's based on Shut the Box game, and it's trilingual. So that's the latest, one of our latest production. So this is the example. You have the instructions in English, French, and in Michif, and then you'll have all the cards. So instead of like when it's Shut the Box, you have the box and you have to put down the tabs. Here we play with cards and some dice. And that's it.
Chantal, how much longer can you be present?
5-10 minutes.
Okay, if you can explain what the projects you're leading on, like the app and the recordings.
Sure, I can certainly do that. So we started working on an app, language app, and we've recruited a company to develop the app. Recordings have been done, and we're just looking at all it's up to the end, right, Tanya? Like we're getting close to it. So we're hoping that it's going to be launched. It should be launched by the end of this year. One of the other big large projects that we're doing is we came across some recordings, decades of recordings, and we again recruited a company who is they came to this person's home and gathered, copied everything. She had all the recordings that were done over the years, and brought this back with them, and they're actually going through them, they're organizing it, and the goal is that it will be saved on a platform of some sort. We're still in the works of all that, but it's being organized, and some videos. It's a place where everyone will be able to go. We're hoping that they're going to be able to go listen to some recordings original recordings, and from that we'll be able to use them as well in our presentations, in courses, and anyone who wants to just listen to the language will be a great place to go to. And if we have more recordings that we find, discover, or we actually want to create ourselves, we'll be able to save them in this place as well.
And Chantal, if it wasn't for the app and the recordings, you'd be working on your Franse Michif language plans.
Yeah, the course.
Yeah, because that was one of Chantal's main goals, but we've been sidetracked on another couple of projects. But Chantal, one of these days she'll find the time to keep working at it. So.
Yes, well, I started. So yes, we did have a soft launch of Michif French course, and we received some very valuable feedback from this launch, and now I'm in the process of reformatting it into a beginner level, intermediate, and advanced level, and then it should be we should be able to offer it to citizens. Like that.
Merci beaucoup, Chantal.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now, so Chantal's gone through the resources. We, our branch, we tend to do presentations. We've done presentations at university level, college level, to elementary schools, high schools, and we've even done Zoom presentations with a school board in Sudbury, where we did a Zoom class on bannock making, and I think there was 15 schools that were joined in, 250 participants, and they all had the trilingual recipe. They all made mini dough packages, and then they went to the kitchen, and they put it in the oven, and all of a sudden everybody was wondering what this beautiful smell was around all the schools. So we tend to be innovative when we can, but we're limited in staff. Chantal and I, we both do a lot of presentation or have tables of resources at various events. My latest one was at the Festival du Loup. I was present at the Oshawa-Durham Region Métis Council. Angie from our Métis Languages Initiative Advisory Team, she did the event at Collingwood Region 7 event. So we have the staff itself, but we also have a Métis Languages Initiative Advisory Team made up of Michif speakers throughout the province. We're not a big group, but we're gladly take new people who wish to join. So a lot of the time we prepare, the staff prepares a draft, and then the draft goes to the Métis Language Advisory Team, and then we tend to agree, consensus,
Tear it apart.
tear it apart. But then we move it forward. So there's a lot of existing resources that we have, like they're here. We have the Métis coloring storybook, which was produced in French and in English, and now we've sent it up to communications to produce a Michif Français version. La Petite Voyageuse, the Tiny Voyageur, which was written by Becky Wilson, a Métis citizen, and she produced it in French and in English, and we asked permission from Becky and her dad to produce it in Michif Français. Her dad basically was the illustrator, and Becky had the story, so they're all in favor. So, like Tanya mentioned, there's a lot of resources that existed, projects that were ongoing, and we've moved it along to the point that a lot of these resources are being produced, and so like we're not sure how long comms would take to produce the Métis coloring book, storybook in Michif, but Chantal and I earlier this week we did the final review. There was 21 little edits to do to the story, so then it'll be sent for to a company to print the book. So that's basically.
Sorry, this is a storybook, the Patsy.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
The storybook.
Yeah, then you got Patsy, which is another storybook about maple syrup stories. So like these are resources that are in various stages of development, close to be done. The next story book we're working on are harvesting stories based on each month of the year. And Angie, have you forwarded yours yet?
No, but I have it done. I just saw the pictures.
Yeah, but Angie agreed to February.
To do love one.
She thought she chose February for Valentine's, but then I told no, Angie, it has to be a harvesting story. So she's got her own story. I'm not going to let it out of the bag because she's got her own little story going on. So these are the type of work we do. We can provide presentations on the history of Métis languages in Ontario. We can provide presentations on the effect of Métis languages on the French language. So we're open to suggestions. And the first session we had in June, there was a gentleman that has a whole bunch of stories, and from the AGA, that is seems to be one of the key items that we need to focus on. Is every Métis has a story to tell, and that's what we're trying to. That's one possibility. If you want eventually want to have Michif language, intro classes like Chantal explained, well, the opportunity will be there, but we're not quite there yet. But we just need to find out, to get a sense from the community, especially Region 7, what would you like to see done? So around the room, remember Michif Scrabble? And that was one of the first resources that I produced when I became involved in the language branch. And we have the letters to match. And if you use the workbook, if you write the word in English, it counts. If you write the word in French, it also counts. But if you write the word in Michif, it's worth, no matter what the word is, it's 3 times the value. So you're forced to use, and that's our banner. And all our resources that we've shown are here on display, which you can take. And our newest turn the box, turn the cards. That's available here. I brought in 5 copies, but there's more.
So Renee, I should have asked this before Chantal left. I haven't seen these resources, so so much that has changed and is new. When we go into the schools and they say they want some of these, like there's stuff on the website they can download.
Yeah.
But if they wanted the playing cards or if they wanted the Scrabble game, is there a link anywhere on the website that the whoever wants it, be it a school or whatever, can order this stuff from the M&O? I know they can order the education kits, but all this other stuff to me is a new resource that I didn't realize was there. So,
Yeah. Tanya?
Yeah, I'll jump in here just to answer that question because I also manage the K-12 program and the education kits that you just briefly mentioned. So the education kits are undergoing a revamp right now, just to update them a little bit and to ensure that they do include their most most current resources. And with that being said, many of the printed Michif resources that we have will be available there. To answer, your question in a practical way, should an educator or a school request, let's say, 10 decks of those cards, we do have an MLI, Métis Language Initiative support email address that they are welcome to send us an email at, and we can help to facilitate the purchase of the amount they need through our printing companies. Unfortunately, at this time, we don't have the funding to be able to issue large amounts of resources to every school board, but I hear what you're saying, and like many other organizations, we're always willing to be a liaison between those who wish to purchase them and, as I mentioned, our printers. So I hope that helps to clarify, and I hope really the goal is that these new K-12 kits contain enough samples of resources with QR codes, so those will be in there as well, to really facilitate the downloading. I used to be a school principal, and I can tell you that my biggest part of my budget was photocopying and printing, and that's where a lot of the money went in elementary schools. So I know that the budgets are there, and educators can very easily print sets of cards or print these storybooks for free, following those QR codes. And the great thing is students can color them and really make them their own and cut them out and use them in that way as well. So we're really hopeful that the inserting the QR codes in the education kit also helps to facilitate access to resources at a really low cost if they're printing them themselves.
For example, the trilingual storybook, Le Gros Party, this goes back to an order that was put in place, a project order put in place in 2018. It was received in 2020. The original order was 8,500 copies. And as of today, we still have over 5,000 copies. So we know we have to find a way to do a distribution, but we can't, like Tanya said, we can't be inundated, like for example, in one day with 10 emails, all asking for the same resources. But
I'm talking about school boards that want to purchase those.
yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah, there's not a problem because we have our own Métis languages branch inventory, but when early learning childcare has their events, they order whatever, like say 300, 400 packs to the same printer on their own account. Yeah, and I should add that early learning childcare, they're also in the process of producing like the superhero series on Powley, Louis Riel, Ryland Badstone, Marlene Greenwood, Christmas Wish Book, and the language branch, we're working with them to produce the resources for now in English. They produce it in English. We work with them, and we're going to see the production of these little booklets. There are 2 samples here, and they'll be also available in French because in my past I was a French language school trustee. When I started with the MNO, I was a bilingual education officer, and I knew then, I know now, and that the school boards are the French school boards are crying for French resources. So we're moving ahead quite well with helping them out, and so that's that gives us an idea. So what would the community like to see? Sit down at Greg's house and talk Michif stories, or and
roast a moose,
make bannock.
I think we need to,
fish fry at Ron's.
I did take a little bit of Michif with you like a while ago, I said on Zoom. And I find if you don't use it, you lose it. So I think we need to like have Michif talk sessions and then maybe explaining it at the same time. sort of like a kitchen party, I guess.
I'm just going to say that
talk Michif.
Michif kitchen parties where
Michif kitchen party, yeah.
you only
Well,
have,
I'm saying
you
because
can only
it's
speak Michif.
informal, plus you can like just get together and start, and you gotta use it to understand, like to get going. I'm not good at language, just saying, but if I could use it more like then.
And the first group we had in June, there were 5 people present, and we're all from different Métis family lines, which was neat. And like some of the participants, everybody's got a story to tell, and they'll I understand what you said, and they repeat what we say. There's also a drill we played because we had 2 participants, like one-on-one, and then we introduced a third people, so we had 3 people conversing back and forth. It was like knock on the door, come in, who are you, what's your name? And then we moved it up to 4 participants. So they start, we start going back and forth. So a kitchen party would be great. Some people would like to listen, and some people can speak, but some people have stories to tell. Either we record them, or like they do an English draft, and we send it to we produce a French and a French Michif draft. So the opportunities are great, and it's just to get a sense from the community what you'd like to see.
So the plan is after today is to start in the fall with a beginner's Michif language here, right?
Well, it all like whenever Chantal has an opportunity to move the language classes ahead, like to finish off the work, then we can set it up. But right now we're, like you said, we have a lot of projects that we've done, a lot of projects that are in development, and a lot of projects that we're moving ahead, and then it'll be the projects that the community projects that it's part of our mandate to meet the demands.
Ram,
Allô, Angie.
bonjour René, comment t'es?
Je suis bien. Comment ça va avec toi?
Je suis bien aussi.
Je suis bien content de toi encore une fois.
Comment va ta famille?
Ben, ta famille, comment ils sont?
Ben, et tu? D'où tu viens?
D'où tu viens?
D'où tu
Hein?
viens,
D'où tu
ouais.
viens? Je viens de Walmart.
Sigoudou.
À la prochaine fois.
Alors, et tu?
Fais attention à toi. Bonne nuit.
Et attention à toi et tu. Bonsoir.
Any small francophone community in Ontario, like in our area, you get up in the morning, you're speaking Michif Français, and to your parents, to your brothers and sisters, you get on the bus into the schoolyard. But as soon as you walk into the school,
Oh man. Yeah.
and if you would hand in
You know how to speak?
if you would hand in the Michif Français version as your composition, you wouldn't get a very good mark.
And they'd ask you where you were born and what you were doing, and
Well, there are
very
stories that like France Picot, getting their hands slapped with the stick for speaking Michif in class. So. No, within this group, when we do this, like you've got your dialect, at common French, and then you meet Amanda's principal at school. She's Saint Louis. Saint Croix. Well, you go and meet the principal, so then you've got to upgrade your French, and then you meet a government official, and also you got to crank it up some more. Then you go to Ottawa, you got to crank it up some more, and then you go to France, and then you got to crank it up so much you burn the battery, and the people are
All of these resources to learn French Michif are available on the Metis Nation of Ontario's website. If you are an educator and you are looking for resources to use in your classroom, you can also reach out to the Metis Nation of Ontario as well. While a lot of these resources are for those learning to speak French Michif, if you are already a fluent speaker, you can also give back to the community by contacting the MNO and letting them know how you'd like to contribute to developing resources for those not so fluent speakers like myself. Merci for watching, and we'll see you down the river.